Let's be honest, everyone's waiting on the next move. Buyers are watching, sellers are hesitating, and in a market like this, hesitation costs. If you're planning on making a move before the new year, don't guess. Stick around for my full breakdown or jump straight to my tailored advice. Now, roll the intro. August gave us more of the same. A market cooling off, but starting to stabilize. Prices continue to soften, and although listings are up, buyers are still moving slowly. If you're a seller, you don't have time to sit back and be lazy. The market's not tanking, but homes don't sell themselves. This is a technical market. Every decision, from preparation to presentation to photos to who you choose to represent you to sell your home, matters more than ever. When navigating this market, who you work with makes all the difference. Work with a realtor who understands the numbers, knows your neighborhood, is a strong negotiator, and can provide clear and concise direction, not wishful thinking or pipe dreams. So what do the numbers say? Let's start with total sales. In Waterloo Region, only 536 homes sold in August, down slightly from last year and over 23% below the 10-year average. That's quite the gap. Buyers are holding all the cards and they know it. The total residential sales in August included 320 detached homes, down 5.6% from last year, and 101 townhomes, which slipped just 1%. On the other hand, semis jumped 25% and condo sales ticked up 1.6%. Even though condo volume has picked up ever so slightly, the overall trend is downward. If you're selling, you need to price your home for today's pricing, not yesterday's pricing. Otherwise, you'll be chasing the market downward. Prices dropped again, not dramatically, but enough to notice. The average home sold for $728,000, down 5.5% year over year, and down 1% from last month. So if we look at the big picture in terms of pricing and comparing year over year 2025 to 2024 at this current time, prices are down 5.5%. So on average, including all property types, homes are selling for about $40,000 less. Now, if we break that down into detached homes are selling for 4.6% less. So if the average detached home is selling just over $846,000, you're looking at more or less about $40,000 less this year than the same home selling last year. Okay, during the summer, things tend to soften up. Inventory is trending up. We had 1,028 new listings in August, up 3% from last year and 11% above the 10-year average, but buyers are still taking their time. Average days on market, we are over the 1-month mark. The average home takes 32 days to sell, same as July 2025, and we're actually up a week if we compare August of 24 to August of 25. So things are taking longer to sell. A lot of that has to do with buyers really taking their time and sellers not having realistic expectations to price their home correctly for today's market, not looking in the rearview mirror from 3 months or 6 months ago or a year ago. All right, here's what matters the most now. If you're selling, if you're buying, if you're contemplating. If you're selling in this market, you've got about a 2-month window right now. We're in the September months. The market tends to have a little bit of a resurgence for the autumn. Typically that begins somewhere in mid-September and runs into mid-November or so. Sales and market and a buyer appetite for making moves in the winter tend to soften up into the holiday season. So we'll expect sales and volume to really trend downwards as we get into December. So right now, the key for you, if you're selling, again, I sound like a broken record every single month. Who you work with matters. Get an agent that knows what they're doing, that has a clear and concise plan for this market. Prep your home properly, present it correctly, promote it, get it out there. It matters more than ever right now to get as many eyeballs as you can. Buyers have a ton of options, are overwhelmed with choices. You need to stick out from the competition and you need to have a reason for that buyer to say, hey, I want to go see that house. And all these things matter. Then you're setting things up. If you're correctly priced, whether that's priced at market to sell within a 32-day on average window, or whether you're underpricing your home deliberately by 10 or 20% and setting it up for an offer date. Multiple offer would be the goal. In this market, folks, there's no time to putz around at the wrong number, especially you got a 2-month window now. If you burn 6 weeks at the wrong price with the wrong agent, with the wrong strategy, you're really gonna be running into the winter months when things tend to soften up, and it's gonna be more difficult for you to sell then, especially after being on the market for a month and a half or so. Buyers start wondering, hey, what's wrong with that house? It looks like a nice house. What's wrong with it? They start creating their own story of why your house isn't selling. Is it haunted? Was there a grow up? Did someone get killed in it? Whatever. There's a million things. Buyers have great imaginations, especially when they have the luxury to do so, when they have 12 different options for their budget in that particular neighborhood that they're searching in. So you need to be ruthless. This is not a market for the weak. You need to be stern, firm, clear, concise, and surgical. This is a technical market. The rules don't change. Be optimizing every potential variable that you can. Don't worry about the market. The market is what it is. You need to fit within the market, price your home for today, have the right plan. Buyers, you're sitting in an advantageous position right now. There's lots of inventory, depending on where you're at. You might have, if you're looking for a condo, there's half a year of inventory with condos. So you've got lots of selection. Some people are trying to get out. They can't sell for months and months. There might be some room to negotiate. Get someone that can negotiate on your behalf and set up the right deal for you. Don't just go overpay for something just because you really like it. Do your research, get an idea of what it's worth, and buy right. If you're looking at detached homes and you're looking in the go-to neighborhoods that everybody loves, that there's lots of that there's minimal inventory in, for example, the Beechwoods, the Westmounts, the Deer Ridges, depending on what street, the really desirable neighborhoods where there's little turnover and people are staying for longer, then you still might be in a competitive scenario. If there's a nice home with a nice lot and green space or half an acre or whatever, all these homes are special. They're not as substitutable. So when we're talking about high inventory levels, there's not a lot of high inventory if you have a half-acre lot in a subdivision. There's very minimal homes that come up every year in a particular neighborhood. So those homes are always going to be desirable. Conversely, if you're seeing homes that might have objective negatives or turnoffs for other buyers, that might be an opportunity for you to make a move and negotiate a little bit harder because buyers might be overlooking them. What I mean by this is, if you're on a busy street or if you see a home on a busy street, a lot of buyers aren't going to like that. If they have little kids, they don't want them playing in the busy street. So that's objectively going to be a negative. That home will be worth less than a home that's sitting on a court. But if you're okay with that and it doesn't matter to you, then you might be able to get a little bit more value there. Secondly, corner lots can be a challenge. Some people don't want to shovel that snow. With the last snowfall we had this year, that's a part-time job for some folks. They don't want to do that. Sometimes there's an awkward lot positioning where you get a lot of side yard that you can't even use and you get a smaller backyard. Then we're getting into power lines. This is a big one. Half the people don't care. Half the people would never live in a home backing under power lines. Some people prefer it. They don't want to have rear neighbors. They want to have green space and their own Eiffel Towers in the back. So these things are potential benefits to you if you're more malleable as a buyer. If those things don't bother you, you can get a little bit more value out of those homes. So be smart with what you're doing. Get someone that can advise you on the pros and cons of these properties. And if you're okay with making some concessions, you might be able to get a better deal on something because it has these bottlenecks that may not even bother you. And if you're gonna live there for 10 years or 15 years, doesn't even matter at the end of the day. So anyways, folks, if you have any questions, let me know below. You know where to find me. Call me, email me, DM me. We'll see you guys next month. Have a safe September. Take care. Peace out.